Hello. Come in. Find a comfortable place to sit. It's good to have you here. You know, we spend so much of our lives listening for three little words. I love you. We wait for them, we yearn for them, we replay them in our minds, trying to decipher their weight, their truth. We cling to them as if they are life rafts in the turbulent ocean of human connection. But what if we've been listening for the wrong thing? They say true love doesn't need to be spoken. And I think there's a profound truth in that. Words are beautiful. They are poetry. But they are also just air. They can be crafted, rehearsed, and performed. They can be whispered in the dark with the most sincere intention, or they can be shouted from a mountaintop as a grand, hollow echo. True love, the real, lasting, bone-deep kind, it speaks a different language. It doesn't use a voice, it shows itself. It's etched into the smallest, most mundane actions. It blooms in the quietest moments, the ones that never make it to a social media post. It resonates in the deepest silences, the kind of silence that isn't awkward, but sacred. A silence so full, so complete, you can hear the hum of two souls recognizing each other. But how do you know? How can you be sure? When your heart is tangled in hope and fear, how do you decipher this silent language? You look for the signs. Words can be faked, but signs never lie. They are the unguarded, involuntary truths of the heart. They are the windows left carelessly open, allowing you to see inside. Today, I want to walk with you through 7 of these powerful signs. These are not just behaviors. They are rituals of devotion. They are the quiet, relentless proof of a love that is real. If you notice them in someone, if you feel them, know that what they feel is not a fleeting emotion. It is a deep, abiding truth. So, stay with me until the end. Because sometimes recognizing true love isn't about what they say. It's about what they cannot hide. 1. They protect your heart without being asked. Imagine your heart not as a metaphor, but as a physical, tangible thing. A delicate hand-blown glass sphere, glowing with all your hopes, your fears, your vulnerabilities. Now imagine someone seeing that, and without a moment's hesitation, their hands come up to form a protective cradle around it. True love doesn't just protect your body, it protects your soul. It's a guardian of your peace. Someone who truly loves you will guard your feelings with a fierce, quiet diligence. They will think twice, no, 3 times, before saying words that could leave a paper cut on your spirit. They won't use your insecurities as weapons in an argument. They won't dismiss your anxieties as silly. They will handle your emotions as if they were precious, fragile heirlooms. And this protection extends far beyond your presence. When you're not in the room, they become your silent ambassador. If someone speaks your name with disrespect, they will correct them. If a story is told that paints you in an unfair light, they will offer the missing context, the grace. They defend you in your absence not to earn points, but because the very idea of you being misunderstood is a physical discomfort to them. From a psychological standpoint, this is profound. When we care deeply for someone, our brain literally rewires. We develop a protective instinct that is almost primal. The amygdala, our threat detection center, starts to see their threats as our threats. Their pain signals our own alarm bells. Their name, their well-being, becomes a trigger for a shift into a guarding mode. It's an unconscious, automatic process. This is love in action, silent, powerful, real. It's the love that builds a sanctuary around you, a safe space where your heart can beat without fear of being broken from the inside out. 2. They remember the little things. Grand gestures are easy. Anniversaries, birthdays, Valentine's Day, these dates are marked in red on the calendar of life. They are expected, they are scripted. But true love lives in the footnotes. When someone loves you truly, Their mind becomes a living archive of you. It's not just the big events they remember, it's the tiny, seemingly insignificant details that the world forgets. The way you scrunch your nose when you laugh. The specific way you like your coffee, not just with milk, but with the foam just so, in that particular mug you love. That story you told once offhand about the time you fell off your bike when you were 7 and your grandfather picked you up. The song that came on the radio that one afternoon and made you close your eyes and smile, a memory flashing behind your eyelids. They remember these things because your words, your experiences, your preferences, they don't just pass through their mind like a tourist. They take up residence. They stay because you matter. Your essence is a filter through which their world is processed. Here's a beautiful piece of science for you. Remembering small personal details about someone we care for actually triggers the release of dopamine in the brain. Dopamine, the molecule of reward, of pleasure, of connection. Every time they recall that you hate cilantro or love the smell of rain on hot pavement, their brain gives them a little chemical reward. It strengthens the neural pathways associated with you, deepening the emotional attachment. It feels good to remember you. So if they notice what the world forgets, it's not because they have a phenomenal memory, it's because to them you are unforgettable. You are a story they are constantly, lovingly, reading and rereading, finding new beautiful sentences every time. 3. They choose you in silence. Love is not a feeling. Feelings are the weather. They change with the seasons. They can be stormy or calm. Love is a choice. It is the bedrock you build upon, regardless of the weather. And the most profound choices are never announced. They are made in the quiet, when nobody is watching, when there is no audience to applaud the performance. Do they respect the sanctity of your connection when others flirt with them? It's not about being rude. It's about a quiet internal reaffirmation. A mental, no thank you, my heart is spoken for. Do they honor the promises they've made to you, even when distance tests your bond, even when loneliness whispers tempting lies? Do they remain loyal not because you demand it, not because they fear getting caught, but because their heart, when it looks at all the options, simply doesn't see another one? To them, you are not the best of a few choices. You are the only choice. Psychologists call this silent commitment. It's the unwavering internal decision to be faithful, to be present, to be true, rooted not in external pressure, but in an internal, unshakable value system where you are the centerpiece. This is the love you can trust. This is the love that doesn't need to check your location or scroll through your messages. It's the love that is secure in its own choosing. Because when someone remains loyal out of love and personal integrity rather than obligation, that is a fortress, not a fence. That's the love that will hold when the winds of temptation and difficulty howl. 4. They feel your pain as their own. This is where love moves beyond the intellectual and into the visceral. When you are hurt, truly hurt, someone who loves you cannot stay normal. Your tears are not just water, they are acid on their soul. Your silence isn't just quiet, it's a deafening alarm that something is wrong with their world. Your sadness casts a shadow over their own light. This is far beyond sympathy. Sympathy says, I'm sorry you're going through that. It's a kind but distant observation. What they feel is empathy at its deepest, most profound level. It is a bond where two hearts beat in rhythm, where the boundaries between yours and mine begin to blur. Your pain registers in their nervous system as their own. It's an involuntary biological resonance. The science behind this is nothing short of miraculous. In true deep love, the brain's mirror neurons activate. These are specialized cells that fire not only when we perform an action, but also when we see someone else perform that same action. They are the neural basis for empathy. When they see you in pain, a wince, a slumped shoulder, a tear, their mirror neurons fire in a pattern that mimics your own brain's pain response. Literally, on a neurological level, they feel your hurt. So when they cannot bear to see you cry, when they move to comfort you before you've even made a sound, it's not just kindness, it's a biological imperative. Their heart doesn't just beat for you. In those moments, it feels like it beats inside yours. It is the ultimate we. 5. They support your dreams, not just their own. Love can sometimes be twisted into a possessive thing. A cage, gilded though it may be, is still a cage. There is a fear, a subconscious anxiety, that if our partner grows too much, they will grow away from us. But true love is the antithesis of this. Love is not selfish. If someone truly loves you, your dreams do not threaten them. They inspire them. Your aspirations become a shared mission. They don't just cheer for you from the sidelines with empty platitudes. They are there in the trenches with you, helping you sharpen your tools, handing you water, helping you climb. They are your loudest advocate, your most believing believer. They see the magnificent painting you are trying to create long before the first brushstroke is made. They don't feel diminished by your light. They feel proud to be standing in its glow. They are not your manager, trying to direct your career. They are your fellow artist, celebrating your creativity. In psychology, this is explained by the self-expansion theory. The theory suggests that one of the primary ways we find fulfillment in relationships is by including the other person's resources, perspectives, and identities into our own sense of self. Through a loving partner, we gain access to new worlds, new skills, new ways of being. Real love makes both people grow, not shrink. It is an expansive force. So, if they encourage you to fly higher, to chase that degree, to start that business, to write that book, even if it means you might soar beyond their current view, know this: that is love without fear. That is a love that is vast and secure enough to contain the entire, brilliant, expanding universe of you. 6. They accept your flaws without making you feel small. We walk through life carrying our baggage, our scars from past hurts, our quirky habits, our insecurities, our less-than-perfect moments, the parts of ourselves we often try to hide in the early stages of a relationship, polishing our surface to a high shine. True love is not about finding a perfect person. It's about seeing an imperfect person perfectly. It's about that moment of revelation when the polish wears off and the real, unvarnished you is standing there, heart in hands, and instead of turning away, they step closer. Someone who truly loves you sees your scars. They know your mistakes. They are aware of your flaws, the quick temper, the tendency to be messy, the irrational fear, the childhood insecurity that still whispers to you in the dark. But instead of using these as leverage in an argument or as points of mockery, they hold them gently. They treat your vulnerabilities with a kind of reverence, as integral parts of the whole beautiful person you are. They remind you, not with words, but with their unwavering presence, that you are still enough, more than enough. Psychology confirms that the deepest, most thriving relationships are not built on a foundation of constant performative praise. They are built on a bedrock of unconditional positive regard, a complete and total acceptance of the other person's authentic self, shadows, and all. If they have seen you at your worst, sick, angry, grieving, afraid, and instead of recoiling, they look at you with the same softness in their eyes. If they treat you as their best, even when you feel like your least, then their love is pure. It is not conditional on you being happy or successful or perfect. It just is. 7. They stay even when it's hard. Ah, this is the crucible. This is where fairy tale love and real love part ways. The real test of love is not when everything is easy, when the sun is shining and the birds are singing. Anyone can stay for the picnic. The test is when the storm hits, when everything is falling apart, when you are not your best, most lovable self, when life throws a crisis, a job loss, a family illness, a deep personal depression. Do they stay through your darkest nights? Not just physically in the house, but emotionally in the room with you. Do they stand by you when the world turns its back? When there is no social reward for their loyalty? When it is actively difficult and draining to be by your side? True love doesn't walk away when things get messy. It doesn't see your struggle as an inconvenience. It rolls up its sleeves. It holds your hand tighter, not with pity, but with partnership and whispers, "We'll get through this together." The pronoun is everything. It is always we. Countless studies on long-term relationships and marriage consistently point to one factor as the #1 predictor of lasting love: consistency, reliability, the profound knowledge that this person will be there, day in and day out, not as a fair-weather friend, but as a lifelong partner in the truest sense of the word. Because anyone can stay when it's easy, but only true love stays when it's hard. And in that staying, it forges a bond that is unbreakable, and woven through all of these 7 signs, like a golden thread, is one overarching, palpable feeling. Perhaps it is the greatest sign of all. They make you feel safe to be yourself. When love is real, you feel safe. Not safe from physical harm necessarily, but safe from judgment. Safe from the need to perform. Safe to be silly, to be loud, to be quiet, to be passionate, to be sad. Safe to have a bad day. Safe to be imperfect. Safe to show the parts of you that you've spent a lifetime hiding from others. You don't have to edit your thoughts before they leave your lips. You don't have to pretend to like a movie you hate. You don't have to constantly prove your worth, because their very presence is a constant, quiet affirmation that you are enough, exactly as you are. In their presence, you can finally exhale. You can put down the heavy armor you wear to face the world. You can just be. And that safety, that profound, soul-level comfort, that is the foundation of forever. So now you know. True love is not hidden in grand declarations or big promises etched in skywriting that will inevitably fade. It is woven into the quiet, relentless fabric of daily life. It is in the protecting, the remembering, the choosing, the feeling, the supporting, the accepting, and the staying. These actions never fade. They are a quiet drumbeat that goes on long after the fireworks have fizzled out. If you see these signs in someone, if you feel this from someone, hold on to them, nurture it, reciprocate it. Because a love like this is rare. It is a quiet miracle. It is the unspoken language of forever. But I want to hear from you now. This isn't just a monologue. It's a conversation between hearts. Tell me, which of these signs touched your heart the most? Which one made you think of someone or wish for something? Which story does your heart need to tell? Share it in the comments. I'd love to know your story. I read them all, every single one. And if you want to continue this journey to understand more about love, about the invisible forces of attraction and the secret landscapes of the human heart and mind, then don't forget to subscribe to Psych Facts Daily 1. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next conversation. Join me as we continue to explore the most beautiful, complicated, and profound territory there is, the human connection. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories are not the ones shouted from the rooftops. They are the ones hidden in the quiet signs we almost missed.